Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 6 of the Snowflake Watch. Here we basically go through a various variety of clips online, usually mainly X, and giving our reactions to it. How are you all doing today? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good week. I'm really feeling good today, guys. I'm so excited. There's so much to look forward to, guys. I'm very excited. Non-political wise, and also tomorrow. I'm going to remind you guys again now, and I'll remind you guys at the end of the show, but I'll also have a post up to remind you guys. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m, the 1 year anniversary live stream is tomorrow night, guys. Be sure to come and join me for that. It's going to be lots of fun. I'm going to be digging I'm going to see if I can find even more stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So it's definitely please, if you can come, please do come. We're going to have a lot of fun. No, it's not going to be bad politics in any way, shape or form. It's going to be lots of good stuff, guys. It'll be a lot of fun. You'll probably laugh in a few jokes here and there as well, guys. So do make sure you come join us tomorrow night for that. And before I say hello to everyone in the super chat, sorry, someone's giving me a super chat. Joe Lefty Boater is here saying thank you everyone for all your kind messages, love and support over the past week or so. It's been darker times for me. You guys are the best. Oh well, thank you so much, Lefty Boater. Obviously, we're just glad that you know, things are good and are okay for you, and obviously our thoughts and prayers are always with you whenever you need it, Joe. You'll always know that you ever want to talk to anybody, myself or anybody, not just here but on the Discord community, you know that you always have a place there, my friend. So thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. That's very kind of you. Guys, there's a simple poll out there. If I will be furious if somebody votes for Rishi Sunak. Because I'll be like, what on earth is wrong with you? Have you been drinking today? Who came out looking good at Prime Minister's questions today? For that's those of you who actually enjoyed it. I did watch the whole thing through Label Social. I watched it through them. I didn't do it today. I might do one. I'm scheduled to do one next week, but asking you guys today who came out looking good at Prime Minister's questions today: Rishi Sunak, Keir Starmer, Stephen Flynn, or other. So the reason I put other is if you thought someone's question was really good and was more of an outstanding point of view in comparison to the usual Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak, was there someone, an MP, that you thought that was that looked really good from Prime Minister's questions today? So we will go into Prime Minister's questions before we look at other clips today. So let's see, who have we got here in the chat today? We've got quite a few viewers. So Ruth is here. Good to see you, Ruth. Hope you're doing well. As to Keir, thank you. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Stephen Banker is here as well. Jow is here, our moderator with the spanner. Good to see you, Jow. Hope you're doing well. Rebecca is here as well. Good to see you, Rebecca. Hope you're doing well. Airbus. Oh, have I said that? Airbus? Am I saying that right? Please correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm saying that wrong. Good to see you either way. I hope you're doing well. Joe Lefty Boto, of course, here as well. Good to see you. I hope I'm not missing anyone. Billy Kershaw is here as well. Grim went mental this afternoon. Finn went mental at early release. Professor T wants metal with Kowalski's reconciliation. Hey, there's some bad blue pop going around. Only do half a bottle. Hope you're all right, Billy. I'm sorry. I'm not quite keeping up with what you're saying there. Anyway, sorry. But I hope you're doing well either way. Erwin Hume is also here as well. Good to see you, Erwin. Hope you're doing well. And 91 Leeds is there as well. Good to see you all. Hope you're all doing well. So we're going to start. We're going to look at a couple of clips from PMQs. Don't worry, we're not going to watch the whole thing. Don't worry, we're not going to watch the whole thing. But I wanted to cover a couple of clips from it. Oh, I've done the same one twice. I can't do the same one twice. I just realised. So, what is this not set up for? I thought I had everything set up. Clearly, I did not. So we're going to start. I wanted to start with the best question out of all of them. Let me know, guys, if the volume is okay as well. I want to start with the best. In my opinion, what I thought was the best questions was from Stephen Flynn. I've got a lot of clips regarding the Tory donor. So it's going to be the main probably going to be the main subject of today. But if you didn't hear Stephen Flynn's comments, guys, he really did knock it out of the park. So let's hear what questions he had to put to the Prime Minister today.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative Party have accepted a £10 million donation from an individual who has said that one of our parliamentary colleagues in this chamber should be shot.
Now, bear this in mind, and I only just about an hour ago finished watching Max's video on this, and he made a fantastic point on this, which is a really, really good point, and that is, you remember the Speaker saying that he was concerned about the well-being, that he was out of his way, he was generally concerned about the well-being of members. And here we are having an MP in the House being told that she should be shot. Now, why did the Speaker deny the MP who was told that she should be shot, regardless of what you think about her political differences? Why was she denied a right to speak? Alistair Keir, thank you so much for those 5 gifted memberships. That's very kind of you. Verti was gifted a membership. Simon Says 55 has gifted one. Matt, Nature's Admirer, and FY were all gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Alistair Keir. That was very nice, very kind of you. Much appreciate it. I know, 3 subs away from 1,000. I know, 3 subs. I know. But generally, like, someone's life has been threatened here. Now, whether you can context it however you want about whether he meant it or not meant it or what. The fact is, he said this allegedly. That's the problem here. That's the context here. He said this, and that's the gist of it, really.
Why is the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom putting money before morals?
Yeah.
What I love about not just the fact that what I really admire about Stephen Flynn is not just the fact that he said this question, it's the way he came across it. The way his tone and the volume of his voice and how his body, and you can and that those characteristics of him, of the way he put this question to the Prime Minister and the House, shows that compassion and shows that something here, like he's putting here, regardless of the fact that this is a Labour MP being talked about here, someone's life was threatened here. Someone's life was threatened here, regardless of anything else. And this was a great, and I really do, I really hold Stephen Flynn in high regard, because the way he came across, I thought, was absolutely terrific.
Mr. Speaker, as I said, the comments were wrong. The gentleman in question has apologised for them, and that remorse should be accepted.
But he can't say they're racist, even though allegedly he said they were racist. Apparently, well, a PM spokesperson said they were racist, but he can't say they're a racist. Kemi Bakernot said they were racist, and apparently she stepped out of party line allegedly. Apparently in those comments. So, I mean, what's wrong with these people? It's just bonkers, guys.
Stephen Flynn! This is complete rubbish. The gentleman in question apologised for being rude.
Take note there, yeah? Remember, he apologised for being rude, not apologise for being racist. This is the exact same thing with Lee Anderson. The reason they wanted him to apologise was he didn't want him to apologise for the remarks. Yeah, they didn't want him to apologise for it. Remember that, yeah? This is the exact same thing with Lee Anderson. Okay? Because their point of view, the Conservatives, is that this kind of a language is acceptable.
He wasn't rude, he was racist, he was odious, and he was downright bloody dangerous.
Yes.
Now, on Monday, the number 10 said, we've seen an unacceptable rise in extremist activity which is seeking to divide our society and hijack our democratic institutions. Isn't extremism that we should all be worried about the views of those Tory donors that we've read about this week?
Yes.
Prime Minister. No, Mr. Speaker, there has actually been a rise in extremist activity that is seeking to hijack our democratic institutions.
The only hijacking here is your bloody party. The only hijacking of our democratic party, or so-called democracy, is your bloody party and what you've been bloody doing for the last 14 bloody years in this country. That's what's being hijacked. You talk about extremism, you guys are amplifying it. The right-wing media are amplifying what you guys are saying. You guys are the ones who are setting the fires here. Yeah? And you're pouring more gasoline on these. You guys wanted a culture war. This is what you lot want. This is you guys doing this. This is not some this is not some lefty thing. This is not even like whatever you might think of Labour. This is not a Labour movement thing. This is you guys doing this. This is you guys doing this. Good evening, Matt. Good to see you there.
It is important that we have the tools to tackle this threat. That's what the extremism strategy will do, and I would urge him to wait for the Community Secretary to release the details.
What on God's green earth is he talking about? He has no plan. He's never had a plan. I know, it's just... and then here's another idiot here. Tory MP Andrea Jenkins. I'm going to talk to you with her one of the dumbest question of the day.
Mr. Speaker, I understand the latest scheme that's been considered is to pay migrants thousands of pounds to leave Britain. Prime Minister, let's just leave the ECHR and deport them for free. So far, over 40,000 Brits have signed my petition.
Is this true? Are we offering them £1,000 to leave? Taxpayer money. Again, taxpayer money. Is this taxpayer money? Why? Why are we doing this? Someone please explain this to me. And this silly person thinks it's the only way we can fix the migrant crisis is by leaving the ECHR because that'll fix everything. While at the same time they take away our human rights as well.
Petition with a Conservative post calling for us to leave the European Convention on Human Rights. Will the Prime Minister commit to leaving the ECHR, or at the very least have it in our manifesto to have a referendum and let Britain decide?
A referendum? A referendum? Why would you want a referendum on this? Isn't it your jobs as politicians to make these decisions? Isn't it the job of politicians to make these decisions? Isn't the House of Parliament supposed to be making these decisions? Why do we need to even have a referendum on this? On something that the ordinary man and woman on the street who don't listen to politics would not understand. They would not understand what the ECHR is. If you ask the average man or woman on the street who doesn't listen to politics, they would have no idea what the ECHR is. But I tell you what would happen. Yeah, if we had if there was a referendum called and there was a build up to it, yeah, they would paint all these bad pictures about it. And they would tell the public about, how great it would be if we left the ECHR and how Europe are still shackling us and all this nonsense. That's the picture they will paint to people to try and scare people into leaving it. That's what they would do. Just like they did with Brexit, guys. Just like they did with Brexit.
Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, my honourable friend is absolutely right that we must do everything we can to secure our borders, ensure that those who come here illegally do not have the ability to stay. That's why our Rwanda scheme and legislation is so important.
It's not gonna work. It's never going to take off. We've had this discussion before.
And what I've said repeatedly, and will happily say to her again, is that I will not let a foreign court block our ability to send people to Rwanda when...
It's not a foreign court, it's a British court! It was the British courts! I don't have the clip, but there was an SNP MP who pointed this out to Rishi Sunak at PMQs today. Pointing this out, that it was not foreign courts, it was British courts! Oh, God. Alistair Keir with the £2 super chat. Thank you. You are one away from 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for that super chat. Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, 999 subscribers. Pretty darn awesome. Thank you for that. Oh, it's driving me bonkers. It's driving me bonkers, guys. Oh, right. Let's do a couple. Let's get on. Let's crack on with these. Oh, God, I know, it's just insane. Okay, so, I guess I said, we're not doing all PMQs, just a few clips, guys. So, Keir Starmer asking here, is the PM proud that to be bankrolled by someone using racist and misogynist language? Hector said it makes you want to hate all black women. Rishi Sunak says they were wrong and racist. God, guys.
Is the Prime Minister proud to be bankrolled?
Just one caveat thing here I just want to point out as well, because it obviously starts with the pictures, it starts with her. You know, whatever you might think of Keir Starmer and whatever you think of Theresa May, and obviously, yes, we have our criticisms of both of them, and rightly so. At least Keir Starmer had the integrity to at least thank Theresa May for her time as an MP. Like, good or bad, like, she has done some good things, Theresa May. Yeah, I know she has mainly been, you know, her time as Prime Minister has not been one we want to remember because it's pretty darn horrible. But at least he had the courtesy, you know, to say some nice things. Whereas the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, who is of the same political party, couldn't say anything about her. Just speaks volumes. At least there is some integrity, at least, from Keir Starmer, whether you like him or not. Hello, Kevin Grant. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Alistair Keir gifting another membership. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Doc Davis has been given the membership there. Guys, I will come back to your chats. I do promise. Let's listen to what Keir Starmer had to say on this.
Is the Prime Minister proud to be bankrolled by someone using racist and misogynist language when he says the member for Hackney North and Stoke Newington makes you want to hate all black women?
Mr. Speaker, the alleged comments were wrong, they were racist, and he has now...
Oh, so he did say they were racist. Ah. He actually said it there. He didn't say it earlier. He said it there. Let's just check where I'm not going crazy, guys. Let's just listen again.
The alleged comments were wrong, they were racist.
He did say they were racist. Okay. Rishi, well done. You've got one step further to actually having some kind of morality. No, you haven't. You're still useless.
And he has now, as I said, the comments were wrong, they were racist. He has rightly apologised for them, and that...
Hello, One Angry Pen. Good to see you. Poor Diane Abbott never got to speak today. It's absolutely outrageous.
Remorse, and that remorse should be accepted, Mr. Speaker. There is no place for racism in Britain, and the government that I lead is living proof of that.
Where do we want to start with this one, guys? Shall I even say anything? Do I even need to say anything? No, I don't. I don't think it's even worth the breath responding to on that question, on that response from him. Look who's standing up at the back waiting for a question later on. Look, there's Diane Abbott standing up, wanting to get the Speaker's attention, like for later on.
Mr. Speaker, the man bankrolling the Prime Minister also said that the member for Hackney North should be shot. How low would he have to sink? What racist, woman-hating threat of violence would he have to make before the Prime Minister plucked up the courage to hand back the £10 million that he's taken from him?
Prime Minister!
Just take away the fact about the money for a second here. Again, like, he said those words. Like, again, I just don't understand how there is not more anger over this. Again, I understand that some people don't like Diane Abbott and her policies and things that she said in the past, and I get that. And I've said this on the video that I'm dropping tomorrow regarding this. But I just don't understand why there's not more anger and outcry over this. You know, someone's life has been threatened here. That's the reality here. An MP's life has been threatened here. Yeah, an MP's life has been threatened here. And then you can't shake around this in any way, shape or form. Reg, good to see you. I hope you're doing well.
Mr. Speaker, as I said, the gentleman apologised genuinely for his comments, and that remorse should be accepted. But he talks about language. He might want to reflect on the double standards of his deputy leader, calling her opponents scum.
Yeah, but you are scum. That's the difference. And she's not threatening to... First of all, she's not threatening to shoot someone. Second of all, they're not racist remarks. And thirdly, it's 100% accurate. So she's not even lying about the comments as well. So that's on all three of those points. She's not even lying about what she's saying. So I don't know why you're making this comparison. It's not even a comparison in any way, shape or form. It really isn't. Steve, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
Mr. Speaker, his shadow foreign secretary, the shadow foreign secretary, comparing Conservatives to Nazis. Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, that is a bit extreme. I'm honest, that is a bit extreme.
And the man that he wanted to make Chancellor, talking about lynching a female minister, his silence on that speaks volumes.
Mr. Speaker, the difference is he's scared of his party. I've changed my party. And Mr. Speaker...
Whatever you want to think of Keir Starmer and the Labour Party, they have changed. That is true. They have changed. You can't argue that, really, to be fair. And then this last one from PMQs, and then we'll move on, and I'll come to you guys in the chat. 2 weeks ago, Prime Minister cracked down on those spreading hate.
2 weeks ago, the Prime Minister promised to...
If there's a issue with the volume, let me know, because I've turned it up as max as I possibly can. I don't know why it's different here.
Crack down on those spreading hate. Today he's shrunk at the first challenge. Last week he promised fantasy tax cuts. Now he's pretending it can all be paid for with no impact on pensions or the NHS. All we need now, Mr. Speaker, is an especially hardy lettuce, and it could be 2022 all over again. Is it any wonder that he's too scared to call an election when the public can see that the only way to protect their country, their pension and their NHS from the madness of this Tory party is by voting Labour?
Or SNP, or voting Green. Think I know where I'm voting. Where are you voting, guys?
Mr. Speaker, again... No, Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, he talks about pensions. Pensions are going up by around £900 in this year. It's this government that's protected the triple lock for the last 10 years. He talks about supporting working people. It's this government that's cutting taxes for every single person in work, Mr. Speaker.
We don't want your bloody tax cuts! How many times have I said this? Does anybody here want tax cuts? Huh? Who wants tax cuts? Would you rather have investment in public service or tax cuts, guys? In the chat. I think we all know the answer to that. We don't want your freaking tax cuts.
Speaker, it's this government that's investing in the NHS, but...
Investing in the NHS? Well, where is the improvement? Why is the backlogs not coming down then?
All we have from him is a £28 billion unfunded promise. Mr. Speaker,
That's all we like. Yes, okay. You made your point about the Green Investment Plan. Yeah, and he did backtrack on that. Yes, we all know that. But hey, he's not the party that's been in power for 14 goddamn years.
I had a look at it. It's here. It's all here. making Britain a clean energy superpower. He's still stuck to it, Mr. Speaker. And if you look through it carefully, there's billions in spending.
What party was it that's opening up the Rosebank, guys? What party was it that's opening up a coal mine in Cumbria now? You know, he's a bit of a hypocrite to talk about green energy.
He's already committed to Scotland, billions for Wales. There's actually money for North London too, I noticed. But the problem is, none of it is funded. So why doesn't he come clean and tell him under his plans, Britain people's taxes are going up, Mr. Speaker? Richard Graham.
This guy is useless. Absolutely pathetic, guys. Absolutely pathetic. Driving me bonkers, guys. Right, just so you guys know, if you haven't already voted, make sure you cast your vote in today's poll. It's who did you think came out looking good at Prime Minister's questions today? Rishi Sunak, Keir Starmer, Stephen Flynn. Anybody else? Leave a comment who you thought came looking good. Thank you for everyone for not voting Rishi Sunak. Very, very good. I hope that stays at 0% before the end of the show today. Let's have a quick look and see what you guys are saying in the chat. Kevin Grant says, I'm voting Labour wouldn't if there was PR, says Kevin. That's totally understandable. I'm in a very strong Labour stronghold, so that's why I'm voting Green for me. So I understand. One Angry Pagan says, I vote Labour, but Lib Dems are half best chance where I am, so I'm voting tactically. That's good. I'm glad you're voting tactically the best you possibly can. Billy Kershaw says, tax inspectors see mountaineer Mick Fowler. I'm definitely giving my vote to the SNP. He's putting his cross in the right box. Stephen Banker there. Labour aren't the Tories. No, I don't think they're the Tories, but I can understand why people feel that way as well. End days indeed, says Jow. Yep, the clock is ticking on the Conservatives, that's for sure. PR is looking pretty tasty to the Tories now. Say what you like about Starmer. He's destroyed Sunak at every PMQs. I think there was only one ever PMQs where Sunak didn't look like he got destroyed and done okay. I think only one, to be fair. Keir Starmer has its Tories parties. The UK's are UKIP. I think that's pretty disrespectful to UKIP. I don't even think they're on that level, to be fair. It's different but hearable, says Jow. Okay, that's good. I call politicians here idiots. I'm not hating them, but I'm censoring their behaviour. Perhaps not correctly, but everyone speaks as they are, says Jow. I believe Diane has reported to the police as a hate crime, said Evelyn. Yes, I've got a new story, not tomorrow, but maybe Friday on that as well. Thanks for that. And I think this man has all the medical records, says Kevin Grant. Yeah. You're not wrong. It's all about the money, says Billy Kershaw. Yeah, it is all about the money, to be fair. It is all about the money. Why are they calling facts and events alleged facts? Yeah, that's true as well. Says Jow. He's not going to pay back the 10 million though, is he? Says one angry pagan. Nope, he's definitely not going to do that. We need proportional representation, said Kevin. Yeah, we absolutely do. We absolutely do. All Father's blessing, says Jow to one angry pagan. Let's just scroll to see. I do not see EU countries wanting to leave the ECHR because it is a British judge. Yeah, I don't see that either. It just seems silly. The ECHR is not a foreign court, you incompetent little tool. It is a European court with a British judge too. What is the rich enlisted idiot saying, and why isn't anyone correcting him? Nope, they're not correcting him. Didn't Sunak have a secret meeting with Graham Brady, chairman of the 1922 Backbench Committee on Monday? He did. If we have time, we'll look at that clip as well. They won't buy frontline Russian conscripts off ... be cheaper ... says Billy. Good evening, Simon says 55. I don't know if I said hello to you earlier. I hope you're doing well. The general public is slowly losing their right to publicly protest, yet a Tory donor can make a speech with racist content and the threats of shooting someone, but only needs to apologise. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I totally understand that. David Keane, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. And my vote and my son's vote will be going to the SNP, definitely. Good. I'm glad to hear that. The UK can no longer produce enough wealth to cover its debts, but you, Sunak, keep talking about Germany and claiming well-being idiocy. Yeah, it is so frustrating. England should vote Green, in my opinion, says Alistair here. I think I can like I understand. I think I would generally say vote. I would say vote tactically, but I also to ensure the Tories will get wiped out. But I'm definitely going to be voting Green because of my place. In all honesty, it's Scotland's bloody own money. Yeah, I know. Blimmin' Rosebank as well. That's just infuriating. That. And the worst thing about the Rosebank fiasco for me that infuriates me is that when we're not getting anything for it, not getting any money for it. No, it's just. So, thanks guys for all your comments so far. So yeah, more on the Diane Abbott situation, guys. So I don't know if we'll listen to all of this, but it's absolutely staggering. 6 minutes of radio in which the caller carrying a professional black woman takes Tory MP Heather Wheeler to task on her token stake and apology dismissive. It was a long time ago responses, our lack of empathy here. And there's a lot of these guys as well.
As an MP, people are asking questions. There is so much going on right now. People from my culture don't need to be dealing with racism with the current economic crisis that we're in. The response that you've given hasn't given me any clear directive of what you'd actually do. So you haven't answered the question, but I appreciate you're attempting to.
Heather?
No, I don't think I've got anything to add, thanks.
Well, let me ask then, why did it take 26 hours for Number 10 to reach the same conclusion as a lot of your colleagues? Why did it take Rishi Sunak all that time to say that those comments were racist?
I genuinely don't know.
Well, you must have a feel for it. You're in the party.
I have a feel for it, but I genuinely don't know. Supposedly these comments were made, in 2019?
5 years ago.
Supposedly the Guardian said that they couldn't actually stack it up, but they were printing it anyway. So, I find the whole story is really, really quite bizarre.
So just brush it on.
Oh my god. Okay. Yes, they were 5 years ago. Yes, the public didn't know about them. Just because we didn't know about it and we know about it now, still doesn't mean that we shouldn't be outraged and angered by it. You find this bizarre? Are you a racist too? Do you not see the logic here? I just think like she's just playing absolutely dumb here. That's how this is coming across to me.
It's not good enough. It's not acceptable, and people shouldn't talk like that. But it's very difficult to say anything more than that, really.
So, are you which camp are you in terms of what should happen to this £10 million? Because we had Kevin Hollinrake earlier on, one of your ministers, saying, "Okay, let me get it absolutely right here," saying, "I don't agree with it. If Mr. Hester was a racist, if he refused to apologise for what he'd said, that would be different. He's apologised. I don't believe he's racist." And then basically, he was asked if the party would accept a further £10 million in donations. Mr. Hollinrake replied, on the basis that we don't believe Mr. Hester's a racist, yes. So do you think that the Conservative Party should either, A, return the money, and the follow-up question is whether they should accept more money from this man? What do you think?
I think, in all seriousness, because I've seen a few of these tweets as well, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me, I think I'm not even going to say that disgusting man's name who made the comments. I think not only should the money be returned back to him, but I think he should be making some donations to anti-racism campaigns up and down the whole of the United Kingdom. Maybe he should be giving £10 million to each and every single anti-racism campaign group here in the UK to help them fight racism all over the place for a good cause. Yeah, if he did that, maybe, I don't know about you guys, if he did that, maybe, just maybe, I might just say, okay, at least he's done something good. Because then that would send a very strong message to say that he generally is sorry. Because if he generally was sorry, if he generally meant he was sorry, yeah, if I was, in all seriousness, I know I'd never be a Tory millionaire, but if I knew I was in the wrong, yeah, if I was in the wrong and in his position, and if I was in the wrong, I would give a lot of money to anti-racism campaigns to help fight racism, to help fight racism. in the UK, to show how serious and how sorry I am. Yeah, rather than just using blanket words here. And Sakir with a £5 super chat. Congratulations. What's going on? Congratulations, thank you for your support of the channel. It really helped it out. Ollie should be smiling now. Oh, thank you for that £5 super chat. Sorry. Sorry, I'm going to have to pause it there for a moment just because of the super chat. Ollie is here. The lava lamp is not has not formed. Thank you so much for that super chat. That's very kind of you guys. That's very, very kind of you. Congrats on the 1,000 subs. We hit it. Oh wow. Okay, fantastic, guys. We hit 1,000 subscribers. Woo! We'll definitely celebrate tomorrow, guys. We'll save the celebrations for tomorrow, guys. But yes, awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. Yes. Let's keep holding this awful woman to account, guys. Yes. We will party tomorrow, guys. I promise you.
I think Kevin Hollingrake, and my apologies for calling Hollingbury.
Sorry.
Kevin Hollingrake set it out quite clearly. If Mr Hester has apologised and the party accept that apology, then that's the end of the matter.
It's not the end of the matter. You don't just make racist remarks. You don't just make alleged comments that you want someone to be shot, and then you apologise and that's it. No, that's not how life works. If that was a child in school that made those remarks, do we think it would be enough for them to just say sorry? He's a grown adult as well. No, it's not all right. It's not all right. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate all the comments. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
I just wonder, I don't know, it's like you're not saying an awful lot on this subject and carry.
No worries, Evian. Thanks for popping by. Much appreciate it.
He's made such a kind of impassioned position as to how this has affected her and how this is obviously very deep in her thinking of what it means for her, and yet you're giving kind of one-sentence answers to her, Heather.
Because she doesn't want to overstep her line. She knows she can't. She's stuck towing the Conservative line. She can't say it. She can't say it, call it out for what it damn well is. That's the infuriating thing. Cathal, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in. I know most of the time you're lurking. You don't normally, most of the time you're lurking, but thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. But yeah, she's towing that line, guys. She's towing that damn line. It's just They just can't speak. They just can't. Some of these people just can't speak. At
the top and bottom of this is, if he said it, he shouldn't have said it. And he's saying he's apologised. Obviously, it was a ridiculous thing to say. I mean, I'm not trying to make light of this because there's clearly nothing to be light of. But what else can you say? You know.
Let me ask you guys something. Do you think that if Jeremy Corbyn made racist remarks about, let's just say allegedly, let's say an allegation came about, Jeremy Corbyn says something terrible about Jews, yeah? Or let's just say hypothetically he said something about Jewish people should be shot. And then he came out the next day and apologised for those comments, yeah? Let's just say he did the exact same thing as the Tory donor here. Do you think, yeah, he would get the same treatment as this Conservative donor is getting, guys? Do you honestly think that? Yeah. Or let's just go even further down. Let's say an SNP did this, guys. Do you think they would get the same treatment? Do we think he would get the same treatment as them? Somehow I don't think so. This is the thing that really infuriates me. Because it's someone on their side, oh, we have to play it down, it's not a big deal. But if it's a Labour person, or if it's someone from the left, or the so-called left wokearty or whatever, oh no, the Daily Mail's got to print 15 goddamn pages of it.
No, he shouldn't have said it. He's apologised.
Remorse is quite a nice emotion in a situation like this, or empathy. If somebody has done something wrong and apologised, it doesn't mean that person doesn't still feel uncomfortable about it. And
So the Tories recognise you if you're no racist if you say sorry after you've said the racist thing first, says David King. Yeah, apparently, according to them. I don't understand either.
I think the fact that you've repeatedly said it happened in 2019, for people who have been through trauma, does it mean because it happened 5 years ago they should just get over it? It's very dismissive. You're being very dismissive. And
I certainly don't mean to be dismissive. I certainly do not mean to be dismissive.
Well, then why did you put it out as you're being dismissive then? Oh, it was back in 2019. Well, it still matters now.
I'm really interested that you mentioned that people have to sign NDAs if they get a settlement. Now, that is something that needs to be called out. Wonder why that happened.
Agreed. Well, the reason why you don't hear about it, it's not in the press, is because they want to keep their compensation. But I don't want to attack you. That's not.
This is extremely frustrating. They would go mega mad if it was SNP. Yeah, they would. There'd be front page, back page. There wouldn't even be any. There'd be front page, back pages. There wouldn't be any space for sport on the Daily Mail. That's how crazy the Daily Mail would go for it. That's how crazy it would be. But yeah, we'll leave that clip there for now. Oh, do I have to open this one up? Oh God. This is a bit annoying. Hold on 1 second, guys.
Thank you very much.
So, Angela Eagles challenged Jeremy Hunt over Frank Hessler's comments. Sorry if the screen's... I should be able to see the screen all right, but yeah, it's obviously related to, obviously, it.
Thank you very much. Firstly...
Is the volume all right? It does seem a bit low on my end, guys. I think it's just the... If it's a bit low, just turn it up a little bit. Hopefully you guys can still hear it all right. Just let me know if the volume's too low or too high. I'm not sure what more I can really do. Just let me know when I play it if you can hear it all right.
Chancellor, but you see Diane Abbott on the TV, you just want to hate all black women because she's there. I think she should be shot. Mr. Hester, was this rude or racist as a comment?
It was both. It was despicable comments that should not have been made.
He's not apologised for being racist, he's only apologised for being rude. Do you think he should apologise for the racist comment?
Well, he has apologised for his comments, which I believe were racist, and rightly so.
Now, you're Chancellor of the entire country, but if you were Treasurer of the Conservative Party, would you return the £10 million that this man has donated to the Conservative Party?
Well, I'm not Treasurer of the Conservative Party, but I don't believe that someone should be cancelled for a comment they made in the past and for which they have apologised. But that does not make the comments any less despicable, and I don't defend them.
I have to say this about him. As much as I hate the man, for someone who does toe the line, he said it in the best way possible, and I hate him for it. You know he wasn't going to agree to say anything about returning the money, but he said it in the most sensible possible way that a Conservative would say it, because all the others just come off. But I think he's actually nailed exactly what he needed to say there, as much as I despise this person. Yes, exactly, One Angry Penguin. He didn't apologise for being racist, he apologised for being rude. Yes, that's absolutely true.
You're happy to accept the money, but you don't defend the comments.
I think the comments are despicable, and I also think that the Conservative Party's record on these issues speaks for itself, with the first ethnic minority Prime Minister, an incredibly diverse cabinet. I'm incredibly proud.
It doesn't matter how diverse your cabinet and the people you have in it, yeah? It's great if you have a cabinet that's full of mixed men and women, mixed white and black, or gay, lesbian, or trans, whatever it may be. It's great if you have that diversity in the cabinet. It's great. It's a great image. But that doesn't mean that your party should be abdicated of any kind of criticism of a Conservative donor making racist remarks while donating to your party. It doesn't advocate that. It doesn't give you the entitlement to advocate yourself from any form of racism or any kind of that kind of criticism. If somebody within your party makes those remarks, it doesn't give you allow you to get away with that kind of stuff.
Proud of what my party has done to increase diversity, and we stand on that record.
I'm happy that they have more diversity, but it doesn't change the fact that they're still ruined the country.
Do you think that Frank Hester is a fit and proper person to be in receipt of hundreds of millions of pounds of taxpayer money and public contracts, given his private attitudes?
Well, I was health secretary when he was...
Rather a lot of black and ethnic minority workers in the health service, after all.
I was health secretary when a number of those contracts were given to him. First of all, no contracts are ever decided by ministers. They're always done at arm's length. But I believe that the vast majority of the contracts he won were with individual GP surgeries, because I think what he does is a piece of GP software. So they weren't even...
I think he's got all our data.
They weren't even...
Do you remember that last bit? What did she say right at the end there?
Contracts he won were with individual GP surgeries, because I think what he does is a piece of GP software. So they weren't even...
I think he's got all our data.
This man has our data. Our National Healthcare Service data. How infuriating is that? Come back to the questions in just a moment. For those who have voted in the poll, thank you guys so much who have. Just asking us very simple questions today. Who came out looking good at Prime Minister's questions today? Thank you everyone for not voting for Rishi Sunak. Greatly appreciate it. 24% of you think it's Keir Starmer. 68% of you think it's Stephen Flynn. I personally think it's Stephen Flynn. Someone put 8% for other. Not sure what that other was, but if you want to remind me, please feel free to do so. I'll try to remind them. Just gonna have a quick look at you guys in the chat before we carry on here. I hate the Tories with every cell in this shamble corpse, says Duke Ventures. Good to see you, Duke. I hope, in all seriousness, I hope you're doing well, buddy. One thing that we are united in this chat is we all hate the Tories and the Conservatives. That is one thing we definitely all have. I think it's all we're all in common here. Volume is fine, no worries. I'm often lurking, says Caffel. Yep, that's fine, buddy. Oh, no worries. No worries. I appreciate you being here, even if you can't comment. It's all well and good. Anyone can say in context, I do not like, but no one should say I want to kill, especially if you have some social status and a voice that people listen to, says Jow. And that's it. He has a status. He has that as well. That's a very good point to make. Everyone with it all, congratulations. Appreciate it, guys. At the worst possible time as well. It was at the worst possible time, but still, I appreciate all those lovely comments, guys. Imagine being a black woman listening to someone that instead of punching a person in most of the EU, they would be jailed or fined for at least says, forget about it, he said sorry. Yeah, absolutely. That's the worst female impersonator I've ever seen, says Steve. It was probably Starmer that stopped Diane Abbott from being able to speak by having a word in the speaker's ear again. You know what's funny, actually? It's funny you say that, Davey, because I haven't got the tweet here, but Diane Abbott quote tweeted someone basically saying that she was approached by Keir Starmer, like asking how you feeling and all that, and it's like, can you restore the whip? And it's like, no, basically. So yeah, it's interesting, that point there. Just wanted to put that tweet out there anyway. Billy's gone to take care of the dog. That's all right. This is it's for the best that the other main parties seem to be in Benjamin Netanyahu's pocket. Yeah. I don't know if you saw my World News round yesterday on the on how the prisoners in Israel are being treated. It was pretty gruesome, which I understand a lot of people left that because it was pretty hard to watch. Jura, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, thanks on 1000. Yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. I have known races all colours of the rainbow and the worst, and even knew that was white, was not white and was a communist. So no, racially diverse does not mean not racist, says Jow. Yeah, it is. Yeah, thanks for that. Right, so more on the Tory racist donor here. This one from BBC Politics Live. Joe Corbyn, will you accept more donations? Andrew Griffin, Tory MP. When a party receives a donation, it goes through a process. Steve Reed says you don't need a process when a donor has called for serving members of Parliament to be shot because she's a black woman. Let's hear what they have to say here.
I will come on to Labour, but Andrew, why are you going to accept any further donations from Frank Hester?
Well, I think that's a hypothetical question. I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to answer hypothetical questions. I can't believe that they're being offered. So,
well, Kevin Hollenrake, another minister, said, well, actually, the party would be prepared. So, do you agree with him or not? Or do you agree with Andy Street? It should be handed back. You certainly shouldn't accept any more. Who's right?
Well, it's a hypothetical question. The Prime Minister's been very clear these remarks are wrong.
Yeah. But that's not the question I'm asking,
The individual has apologised. He's a private individual. He hasn't been...
Why can't I hate these Conservatives so much when they don't answer just simple, straightforward questions like this? It's so infuriating.
Convicted of
So you can say what you like, and if you apologise immediately, then all is forgiven.
That's essentially what the Conservatives are saying here. But if you're from the lefty side, if you're a lefty, if you're an SNP, if you're a Labour person, if you're a Green Party, if you're a Lib Dem, or if you just happen to be someone reading an article from The Guardian, it's not okay for you. But if you're a Conservative donor, if you're a Daily Mail reader, it might be a different story.
Well, there are processes. So when any political party, and Steve knows this because his party would do exactly the same as would any of the other major parties, donations to political parties are regulated, and at the...
We're not talking about the process of it. We're not talking about the process, you Wally. We're talking about the... Do I really have to spell this out for this clown? It's not about the process here. It's about the fact that you're accepting donations from a man who thinks that a person an MP should be shot, that has a problem with black women. Why would you accept the donations from someone like that? This is the premise. It's nothing to do with the process of it.
The point a political party receives a donation,
yes.
Not subsequently, not with hindsight, but at the point it's received.
Yes.
Yes, Alistair. Yes, Keir. Yes, Keir. Look, guys, there's a squirrel. Squirrel. Look over there. There's a squirrel. That's exactly what it is. Distraction, distraction, distraction. Diane Abbott is hardly innocent when making discussion remarks, to be honest. Doesn't mean that she deserves what she got, and that's why she hasn't got the party whip back, says one angry pagan. Understandable. Yes. Yes. Understandable. Yes. She has made discussion remarks in the past as well. There's but yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, you're absolutely right in saying that it doesn't mean that she deserves what she got. Yeah, absolutely spot on with that.
Parties go through, I think, a very thoughtful process. I'm sure Steve's
Andrew,
party,
you don't need
you don't need a
process. You don't need a process when a donor has called for a serving member of Parliament to be shot because she's a black woman. It's crystal clear. It's crystal clear to me. It's crystal clear to most viewers, I suspect. It's crystal clear to Andy Street. What is wrong with you? And what is wrong with Rishi Sunak?
Notice how he doesn't even look. Notice how he doesn't even look at him while he's talking to him. Are you noticing this? Like, he's blatantly like living in cuckoo land, like just letting this go in one ear and going out the other. He's completely ignoring this point. Completely here.
He is too weak to do the right thing. Well, the same man that put Lee Anderson as deputy chairman.
All right, well, let him
There is a blind spot here. There is a
rhetoric, and this is a man who is sitting next to Angela Rayner, the deputy leader of the Labour Party, who's called another serving member of Parliament scum.
I'm not even going to address this because I've already pointed this out earlier in the live stream.
Should Keir Starmer...
Deflection isn't going to get you off the hook.
Well, hang on, Steve, answer that question, though. I mean, she did use that term.
She did use that word.
Yeah, but she didn't ask for someone to be shot.
She did
She didn't ask for someone to be shot. They weren't racist remarks. And what she said was actually true. Conservatives are scum. And that's a perfectly legitimate thing to say about a group of political party members who have decimated the United Kingdom for 14 goddamn years.
She did apologise for it. More
broadly, in that case, an apology enough?
But she's not donating money. You've taken 10...
You see how the host here has screwed this up. The host has completely turned this on this head. And this is more further evidence how biased the BBC is, as our friends in Scotland have consistently highlighted here. The host has turned this story around in what was supposed to be attacks, supposed to be questioning and probing Andrew Griffin here and his party on this Tory donor. And now what they're doing is they're pointing the finger here at Angela Rayner over comments that she made and that she apologised on, which, by the way, are nowhere near on the same level as it was with this Conservative donor. Here's another person trying to defend the indefensible.
The fact that what we do know for sure is that he is the Conservative Party's biggest donor. £10 million he has given to the Conservative Party. And a lot of people, even within your own party, are saying this morning that doesn't sit right, that you should give the money back. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree with that. If Mr Hester was a racist, if he refused to apologise for what he said, that would be different. He's apologised. I don't believe he's racist. I think in terms of the context of things we've got going on now, and I'm here to talk about the post office and trying to exonerate postmasters and compensate them, there are, I think, bigger issues at play here that we need to focus on in terms of probably greater priorities for the most of the people watching this programme.
I think a lot of people watching this programme have been deeply shocked by this story over the last, 36 hours now. And for them, it is a big issue because it tells them a lot about the government and what the government thinks and how it operates and about community cohesion, and they've been really disturbed by this, and they would like you to give the money back. I mean, if Mr Hester today said, right, I'd like to give you another £10 million, would you take it?
Well, on the basis that we don't believe Mr Hester's a racist, yes.
See the greed. The greed is basically there. He, like every other Conservative MP, regardless of who you are, no matter who you are, yeah, you could be somebody. You could be somebody who has committed atrocities. You committed acts of genocide. You could be a murderer. You could be a rapist. You could be a sexual offender. You could be one of the most nastiest people on the planet. Yeah, if you'd offer them £10 million, regardless of your history, they will take it. They will take it, regardless of any kind of history that you have. And this right here, this man's answer is just proof of all this. He said yes to this.
But I've got to say, all these people I spoke to yesterday, I spoke to members of the public and postmasters and many other people, nobody mentioned this story to me in terms of the context of what we're trying to do, which is overturn convictions and pay people compensation. That's
Post office nearing the kitchen sink too, says Alistair Keir. Yeah. Stupidity is one thing alongside lies. It really makes me lose my temper. I hate yes, stupid people. I understand ignorant people, but not stupidity. Yeah, I know. David King said, wait, something more important than some donor saying he wants to shoot a black woman MP. Sounded pretty raceless, useless toe rag. Yeah, he is a useless toe rag, This one here is Steve Reid here on BBC Radio on basically how Labour responding to it.
Racism matters in people's lives, not just people who are subject to it, but the rest of us that want to live in a country where everyone is treated fairly and equally. And the Prime Minister's got a very clear issue in front of him today. He's accepted £10 million off a man who called for a black woman MP to be shot and smeared all black women in the country.
Now, I asked you about the Labour Party's position on this.
These are difficult issues, and all of us... But the Labour Party took a very strong line against anti-Semitism to try and drive the extremists out of our party. The Conservatives are taking money off extremists and putting people like Lee Anderson as deputy chairman. There's a very, very clear difference between the two parties here, and I'm seeing pressure now piling up on the Prime Minister, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the end even this weak Prime Minister is forced to give this money back to a man he should never have accepted it from.
Well, we don't expect that money to go back whatsoever. This is going to really infuriate you, guys. I cannot believe this happened here. I'm just going to play the clip, and you're going to listen
I'd like to put on the record. Before I begin my response, I'd like to put on the record my deep disappointment at the Minister's comment this morning on BBC Breakfast. Instead of categorically condemning the Tory party donor Frank Hester's horrific racist remarks about the Right Honourable Member for Hackney North and Stoke Newington, and despite Number 10, after much delay, finally describing the remarks as, I quote, racist and wrong, the Minister this morning appeared to contradict this position.
Point 4. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a statement on post office legislation, and may I respectfully say that what the honourable lady opposite is saying is irrelevant to this statement.
Excuse me, she's just giving her points about a very serious incident here, and this, I'm sorry, this heartless bastard stands up for a point of order and calls it irrelevant. How fucking dare you call it irrelevant that someone was threatened to be shot and was given and had racism on them? How fucking dare you? It seriously infuriates me. Like, and you guys know I try to keep my tone with racism and with the language here, guys. But my God, this guy really pissed me off. Really pissed me off when I heard this. Oh my God.
The Shadow Minister, we're moving on. Minister.
I will move on. I will move on. I simply hope that the Minister will reflect on the reversal of the statement this morning and the position that he took, that he would take a donation if it was provided by the donor. I hope he reflects on the impact that it is having on many of us.
Actually, like, the thing is like, okay, it's not about that. It's about the post office conviction legislation statement. Yes, I get that. Yeah, but she just wanted to make a brief statement on a really big story, and she just wanted to put her record on the record about it. That's all. And for this bastard to literally come up and say, whatever you're saying about it is not important, it's nothing to do with the relevant topic, stop talking about it, let's move on. Sky News here, guys. Ian Dunn speaking on the racism row.
Failure to draw a line under it quickly. Are they going to fail to draw a line under the question of should they give the money back or not?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're clearly looking at one of the most staggeringly inept political operations we've seen for years. I mean, all of yesterday is an object lesson in how not to do it. You're not just trying to adopt a line that anyone in their right mind can see is false. You can't look at a statement that repeatedly talks about gender and race and say, well, this statement's got nothing to do with gender and race. It doesn't matter who you are or what your political perspective is. Of course it was. Now they've adopted this line of like, well, even if he is a racist, oh, beg your pardon, sorry, he's not a racist, he just says racist things, and therefore we get to keep the money. All of that relies on the man's apology. The man's apology was not for racism. The man's apology is a very contorted mess of very sorry about the hurt caused, but also I'm not a racist and I didn't, alludes to the idea that he didn't say anything like that without explicitly denying it. Now, that is not a tenable position to be in. Mm-hmm. So if they are relying on that apology for their current posture, they're going to find themselves in all of the same problems that they've had over the last 24 hours.
Very good point there by Ian Dunn. I thought that was a great point, really pointing out some very key stuff on there. So that was a very good one there. This is obviously with regards to Diane Abbott. Just to remind you guys that obviously Diane Abbott did not get to speak.
I also think one of the things that we should talk about today is the fact that the Speaker did not call Diane Abbott, the woman at the centre of this row, for a question, despite the fact that she bobbed up and down for 30 minutes trying to catch his eye, didn't call for him. She has said in the last few minutes, I don't know whose interests the Speaker thinks he's serving, but it is not the interests of the Commons or democracy. We have heard from the Speaker, who says that basically the reason she wasn't called is that there were lots of people in line. But whether that is a sufficient explanation, I think the next few hours will tell. I also think... I want to kindly gently point you, if you haven't seen Robert Spears' video on
Diane Abbott being denied the right to speak. Definitely worth checking that out if you haven't already, guys. But I'll just say on my point there, if he could have extended PMQs to have more people speak. He could have easily had Diane Abbott added onto it. And yes, there are a set amount of people who already have questions in place, and obviously then there's extras along. On a topic that was obviously going to be surrounding her, it made total sense for her to have her voice. Her voice was blatantly denied, and we all know that. Hoyle is useless, says Doc Davis. He is. Excuse me. You're absolutely right, Doc. The speaker is absolutely useless. It's good to see you in the chat. I hope you're doing well, Doc. And just for this last one on it, guys. Obviously, Diane Abbott here. Remind you guys that she was the first black MP.
Diane Abbott is a political pioneer. First elected nearly 40 years ago, she was the first black woman MP.
Whatever else happens after this, I think nobody can take this moment away from the black community.
And it was. Entered Parliament in 1987. So, again, whatever you might think, she's in the history books as being the first black MP. And it's just a shame that, you know, her career has not gone the way I'm sure it would have wanted. And frustrating to say the least, shall we say, with this whole story, guys. We'll go cover a couple more clips as well, guys. I'll come to you guys in the chat, but I want to thank everybody who has cast their votes on the poll on who came out looking good at Prime Minister's questions today. Don't worry, I've got a funny video for you guys as well at the end, but we'll do a couple more before we wrap things up. So Stephen Flynn came out looking the best at Prime Minister's question day with 69% of the vote. Keir Starmer 23%, 7% think it was other, and thankfully nobody voted for Rishi Sunak. Thank God you did, because the Spaniards would have come after you if you were found to have voted for Rishi Sunak. Just kidding, of course. I'm just kidding. He's as useless as a chocolate fire guard, says one angry pagan. I don't get why the speaker is just completely dependent on all parties. Just have some versatile in the Commons rule and whatsoever for the job. At least they're not blaming the EU, and they've not had anyone to listen to but themselves. But it's nice not to be hate. Well, that's the thing when we were talking about the removal of the ECHR. That would be a reason to hit a stick over the EU if they were to get that referendum that silly woman in Parliament wanted. Don't give it back. Why should he benefit from this debacle? Yeah, it should go to, like I said, the money should be taken out of the Conservative Party and given to anti-racism campaigns across the United Kingdom. That's what it should be done to help tackle racism and help the campaign to drive out racism in all four nations. She should have said, "It's relevant to me, and I ask you a question. Why did you not ask for an opinion? Answer me." They're on their way out and they just don't care, says Caffel. Yeah. F-bomb. Yes, I know, F-bomb. I know, I'm going to get in trouble now. Well, the algorithm's not going to be in my favour now for saying that. Haggis UK is excellent. He is. He's great on. He does well with them. This is the Parliament or the cafeteria. Where are they all out for a drink? What are you paying them for? Yeah, I know. Right. Do I really want to go down these lots? Do we want to do 30p Lee? No, we'll leave 30p Lee. This clip here, I really like this one. So these are a couple of random ones I've got together. This one was on a really great one of just how much of a mess this country is in, and I think it's a really good one here. Was it playing? Oh no, Circle of Doom. Why am I getting Circle of Doom? No Circle of Doom. That's not a good sign. Oh dear. Maybe it's just a clip. Let me try again. No. I hope. I'll leave that. I'll leave that one. I can't play that one. It's too long. This is. Will this one play? I hope this one plays.
I think
okay, we'll play. Okay, so David Hannon, 5 years from now, Britain will be flourishing as never before in 2016. 2024, unelected bureaucrat David Hand, we need to be doing more to take advantage of our Brexit freedoms. Perhaps something has gone wrong and perhaps this is the time to act. It's funny how time changes, your opinion changes on things as well, doesn't it?
I think that 5 years from now, Britain will be flourishing as never before, and people will look back and wonder why we didn't do this long before.
We need to be doing more to take advantage of our Brexit freedoms. Perhaps something has gone wrong, and perhaps this is the time to act.
I think that
it's funny, you know, saying the same thing he said 5 years ago, and yet this man still believes in Brexit. I'm still waiting for the benefits, guys. I'm still waiting for those benefits. I'll come to that one in a minute. That's the UBI one in a minute. So obviously someone was asking about this. As of right now, unless some of you guys seen any news, this one obviously from Sam Cokes with regards to a private chair meeting. I haven't discussed this, so we'll play this and I'll share my thoughts with you guys on this.
What if you found out?
Well, I think if there's a link between what you've just heard from Serena and what I'm about to tell you, I think it smacks of possibly a number 10 not really concentrating, perhaps not being on it enough today to deal with the racism scandal until this late moment, but maybe there's a reason for that, and maybe that reason is linked to what I'm about to tell you. I've discovered that last night, Rishi Sunak had a private, secret meeting with Sir Graham Brady, the chairman of the 1922 committee. Now, there was always going to be a meeting with a slightly bigger group of people of Sir Graham Brady and his executive with the Prime Minister. That's normal and routine. But Graham Brady appears to have requested an additional one-on-one meeting that nobody else was present for on top of that. That is significant, Sophie, because when that happens, how can I put this? It often means something's up. Now, I can't tell you what was said in that meeting. I can't tell you any account of what's happening because nobody wants to go into detail. I just know that it was not on the schedule and people were surprised that it took place. The last equivalent meeting like that took place just before Liz Truss was dethroned, when Sir Graham Brady went to see Jeremy Hunt, who at that point was a pivotal figure in that administration, to warn him about what was happening. At that point, there seemed to be sufficient letters potentially going in for a vote of no confidence. There is chat about letters. There is a massive, massive list of things that Tory MPs are unhappy about, from the racism scandal that you've just been talking about, to the defection of Lee Anderson, to the poor handling of the budget, to the fact that Tories are 27 points behind in some of the polls, to the fact that they know that they're going to be getting a huge drubbing in the local elections. The question of when the election should be is still live because Number 10 haven't completely shut that down. There are problems everywhere you look. So when Graham Brady requests a secret meeting with Rishi Sunak, at least one eyebrow gets raised quite high.
Yeah.
This is very fascinating. So what do I honestly think about this meeting? I think if the clock wasn't already ticking on Sunak, I think it is. I think there have been a number of no confidence letters. Quite a few letters have been submitted. I think a few letters have been submitted, if I'm absolutely honest. I think there is obviously there are a lot of Conservative MPs who are just getting to this point of nothing is working, nothing is going right for us. There's not seem to be any change in the polls. We're sticking with this plan that is not working. Are we actually going to get, like, what's going to happen here? Now, are we going to get another leadership contest? And I think if they were to do another leadership contest, it would cause even more anger amongst the British public. And I say the British, not just English, the whole British public would get infuriated if they were to do another leadership contest in which we do not get to decide when we are entitled to a general election by as late as January 2025. I don't think there is going to be a leadership contest. I think they are going, either two things are going to happen. They're going to A, stick with Rishi Sunak, or B, he's going to call a general election. Now, obviously, Sunak doesn't have a spine. We've established that quite well. But if he wants to show any cojones to his fellow Conservative MPs who want to oust him, he can always just turn around and say to them, well, I'll call a general election then if you want me gone. And I just wonder if he will do that. And part of me thinks he can do that, but a part of me thinks he won't do that, simply as has been pointed out by many people, is that he's very keen to get that Indian trade deal done. That would enrich himself very, very much. So I also think that is also playing in a part. There's a lot of needles in this haystack of what this secret meeting is. I think it may be some warning shots, some concerns that MPs are not happy about you. Perhaps it's along those lines. Not so much that that your position is untenable. I don't think that's the case, but it is coming close to it. I think it's coming close to that position. I am still hoping that a general election is called in May. I'm still hoping that. I was just listening before I came live, like 10 for the last half an hour or so. I was listening to No Justice, it's live streaming. She's under the impression, and I agree with her, that a general election is in the best interest of the Conservative Party to have it in May rather than in November. Now, some people are now coming across to the belief that perhaps they're going to hold off until November. And I don't see why are we delaying this? So we're delaying this for what? For the benefit of Rishi Sunak to try and get that Indian trade deal so he can enrich himself? Is that the only reason? Is that the only reason why we're going to delay it? What are the benefits here? So they buy themselves more time. Yeah, let's say they do. They buy themselves more time. They hold off on calling that general election. Yeah. What are they gaining from this? They are hoping that something will happen, that the polls will turn their way. Even if Keir Starmer turns out to be a racist and said that he would start shooting people, even if Labour were to fall apart, yeah, let's just say hypothetically, people would still vote Labour than the Conservatives. The list of things that people have against the Conservatives is a huge, huge list. There are many, many things. So obviously Brexit, immigration, our national healthcare service, our education, our crime, our overcrowded prisons. I mean, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. The huge amount of donations and taxpayer money being wasted during the pandemic, the handling of the pandemic, Partygate. You think people forget about Partygate? Let me tell you something. No one who has lost somebody or has suffered during Partygate, while they partied and people suffered, they do not forget that, regardless of your political ideologies. They do not forget that. And yes, while Boris Johnson may be gone, that political party that is responsible will still face the wrath of voters on that. They've even put in the cost of living crisis, higher energy bills, sewage in our waters and our beaches. The profits that they have been making as well. Everything is literally feels like it's falling apart. Our high streets are more empty than they ever were as well. They're more empty than they ever were, our high streets. We're seeing a lot of retail high streets now. When they're boarded up, they don't get replaced by really fantastic brand new ideas. No, they just get replaced with charity shops now. So many high streets up and down the country are boarded up as well. We've lost so many pubs as well. There's just it's very deplorable. It's very depressing sometimes. Me and my partner, guys. Just a quick off the cuff. Me and my partner, we like to go. We travel a lot down to the coast, to different coasts and whatnot, and we always go for a walk around the town centres. And you see these boarded up town centres. There was in Brighton, I think it is, or Hastings, I think it is, one of the two. There's still a boarded up Woolwich, Woolworths, still boarded up to this day, and it's never been filled up. It's still empty to this day. Crazy, absolutely crazy. We need a general election. We need proportional representation. We need reform, media reform. We need to reform our House of Lords to some kind of democratic process. these are just the starters of things that we need for this. And Scotland need to be allowed to have a vote on a once again a vote on a referendum for independence. They need to be allowed that vote, amongst many other things, which I'm sure you guys in the chat will mention as well. So I noticed you guys saw the this one here. I know one angry pagan wants to see this. Yes, President Obama calls for a universal basic income. He says other things, but he does mention this, guys. And yes, UBI, guys, UBI.
With automation replacing so many blue-collar jobs and pretty soon white-collar jobs, we may need to consider bigger changes, and we should start talking about that now. Things like a shorter work week, or a universal basic income, or guaranteed income. Ideas that can spread work around and supplement the incomes of people as they shift to the much needed work that I mentioned earlier that can't be automated, that a program alone can't do. Things like childcare and education and health care and elder care.
He's absolutely right. So as I know I'm completely switching gears here, guys. So he's absolutely right. We are transitioning, and more things are becoming more and more AI, automated sort of thing. And what we don't want to do, and I hope you guys are in agreement with me, we do not want to do what Thatcher bloody did with the coal mining industry, and that is shaft a bunch of workers out on their arse. We want to slowly transition people out of the works that they are in that become automated into something that they can still contribute and do their part for society. And not everyone is going to be able to do that, which is why we need a universal basic income. I've talked to Max about this before, guys, and I will bring it up with him again. I do want to do a UBI live stream, but I want to do one with Max. I want to do one with him. We have discussed it before, and I will discuss it with him again. Probably do a Sunday roast or something with me, him, Alex, and perhaps an expert on universal basic income. I would love to do something like that, but I will bring that up to him again. But yeah, you guys know how I feel about universal basic income. I actually did a live stream, one of my early days of the channel. You guys can check out as well. If you just type in one of my very early Snowflake viewpoints, I did a one on speciality on universal basic income, guys. So even though it was quite a long time ago, it still speaks volumes to why we need a universal basic income. But a lot of what President Obama says here really does make sense.
Some of these ideas are being tested as we speak. Right here in Chicago, there's a pilot program called Chicago Promise that's been giving thousands of low to moderate income families $500 in cash every month to help them meet basic needs. And it's modeled after a similar program in Stockton, California. And it's showing early promise because the thesis is you improve financial stability, you improve well-being of low-income families, they actually can fix a busted car, they don't have electricity turned off, their lives are more stable. It doesn't discourage them from working full-time. It, in fact, makes it easier for them to go out and find a job and work full-time.
The problem is that too many people think that a universal basic income, that this kind of concept stops people from working. And the reality is, yes, there are some people in society that may make them stop working, but there are lots of people who want to work, who want to contribute and want to be a part of society. And a universal basic income can give them access to all sorts of new ideas and new options with doing so. And like Obama just said there, the mentality of it. Imagine that you don't have to strain and worry about paying your next bill when you have a basic income supporting you guys.
And more broadly, one of the bright spots coming out of the pandemic has been evidence that the generous benefits people received during the lockdowns may be one of the reasons why the U.S. economy has actually seen an unprecedented increase in new business formation over the past couple of years because people had a little bit of a cushion to go out and take a risk and try that new idea. And that's the thing about giving people a safety net and helping them achieve their basic needs. Not only does it relieve hardship, not only does it strengthen our democracy, it can also empower people to be more productive and raise their ambitions and set an example for their children. And that benefits all of us. And that benefits the economy. And that benefits business.
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. And, yeah, universal basic income, guys. Universal basic income there. Well, I'll send it to Max if he wants to show it on his live stream, because I know how he feels about it as well. Guys, just before we wrap things up, I'm just going to play one more video for you guys. It's a funny video, and then we'll do the outro stuff, guys. So this just happens to come in. Wait a minute. What's that, Ollie? What's that? Oh, Larry and Paul have got something to say. Oh, is it? Oh, guys, gonna have to hold on 1 second. Larry and Paul have got something to tell us. We better just switch over to them and hear what they've got to say, guys. Better hear what they're going to say. Take it away, guys.
Welcome to Broken News. The Conservative Party has published how much money it expects to receive in return for downplaying racism. The new tariffs come into force immediately, and our reporter has more.
It's been one of those long-standing problems. Just how much should it cost to have the racist thing you just said defended as not racist? Well, now Rishi Sunak's party has helpfully laid out a racism rate card. The bigot buyout includes the singing of Bar Bar Black Sheep for a £6 donation, any gangster rap track for 50 quid, or the full version of The Sun Has Got Its Hat On for £300. For £10 million, senior cabinet members will go on actual national television to claim that the thing you said about black people and about how one of them should be shot was absolutely fine. And despite some criticism, the Conservative Party has unveiled a new offer. For £20 million, they'll describe your calls for a full-on race war followed by some light ethnic cleansing as slightly distasteful but not reflective of your character. In a statement, the Conservative Party said, "Look, if Hitler had just considered donating 30 million Reichsmarks to Churchill, we could have just called him a naughty little fella with some outdated views, but otherwise his heart's in the right place and we should all just move on." Back to you.
What a lovely story. That's all from Broken News. You're up to date.
Larry and Paul there, guys. Oh, great stuff from them. So, guys, just want to say once again a massive thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you all so much. We are wrapping things up here. Phil McCracken with the £2 super chat saying, did someone say 1,000 subs? Yes, they did. Thank you very much, Phil, for that super chat. Greatly appreciate it. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I hope you're having a good week. Guys, just one more thing just before you guys go. Just a reminder, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock here on the here, guys, on the channel, we are doing a 1-year anniversary live stream. It's going to be lots of fun, I promise you guys. It's not going to be bad stuff about politics and all that stuff. No, we're going to have some fun, guys. We're going to have some proper fun. We're going to have a lot of laughs. And I promise you guys, it's going to be lots of entertainment. We're going to have lots of laughs in here and there. So I hope you guys join me tomorrow night, 8 o'clock for that. Just a reminder, Regan's News Round is dropping tomorrow. It's going to be premiering at 2 o'clock tomorrow. So if you've got the day off tomorrow, if you've got nothing planned, I'll be premiering it at 2 p.m. tomorrow. I'll be recording it either early in the morning for you guys, so you'll have Regan's News Round there. So basically tomorrow is you'll have the usual video dropping at 8 a.m. Instead of a video dropping at 2 p.m, it'll be Regan's News Round, and then at 8 o'clock in the evening we will have the 1-year anniversary show, guys. And got a couple of I got a tune that maybe you guys might remember as well for those Snowflake show times as well, guys. Some really funny, really fun stuff we got there. So I hope you guys come and tune in to watch the show on the 1-year anniversary. But guys, Whew, thank you all so much, yeah, for coming along. Thank you again for everyone for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. But again, we'll talk all about this tomorrow. So it's been a long stream today, guys. But thank you all for coming along. Thank you for your chats. Thank you for your super chats, memberships, and all your comments, guys. Greatly appreciate it. And even if you've just not donated, and whether you are just watching along, greatly appreciate it, guys. But now it's time for me to do my usual stick. What's that, Ollie? Oh, Ollie wanted to say goodbye. Ollie's very happy today. Obviously, the orb is there in all its all hail the orb, all hail the orb. And the lava lamp is just coming together as well, guys, just for you guys there, just to put up there. So, Ollie's very happy, guys. He's very happy for you all, guys. So, yes, thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for all your comments, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Now I've got to remember what my stick was. I'll try to remember my stick. But just before you go, don't forget to hit the like button and share this across social media so others are notified of this video. And subscribe, because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to financially support me in the work I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content there as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.